I am a procrastinator. I might be one of the biggest procrastinator, but I still get stuff done. It just takes me a lot longer, and I don't want things to take me a lot longer, so I want to move fast. We have to believe in ourselves so we can move quicker. Time doesn't wait for us. It's going to pass anyway. You can't keep putting it off. You put off school, you put off starting the business, you put off taking that trip, you put off so many stuff, and time is going to pass anyway. And everybody else is living life. Don't put off what you can do today for tomorrow. If you can do it today, do it today. Make that call today. Reach out to that friend today. Don't put stuff off. Don't put it off. Continue to believe in yourself and continue to move forward today. Let's see if this video will play for us today. I'm sitting in a different place, if you guys noticed. I'm next to which way? My my router. So hopefully it doesn't give us much trouble today.
I hop on the treadmill. This was over the weekend. I put on my headphones. I turn on this interview.
You guys are able to see that, right? I just wanted to come back out. Yeah, okay. Sean, don't forget to admit people, because when I click out of the screen, for some reason, I can't see who is coming in. So you please show me. All right,
And I'm listening to somebody I love, and that's David Goggins. Now, David Goggins, Navy SEAL, best-selling author, and he's doing this interview with someone else I listen to. You might listen to him too, Stanford professor Andrew Huberman. I freaking love David Goggins because of everybody that I know in the personal development, life optimization, research, science space. I think David's message is the closest to what I'm trying to convey to you every time we talk. And look, I'm not a Navy SEAL. I don't swear as much as he does, although some of you think I do. But his message is always about action, that you cannot sit around and wait to feel like it, that there is always some level of resistance or friction or suckiness or pain in the way between you and the things that you need to do in order to change your life, in order to reach your potential. And that's what I believe too. And I tell you that every single time that you and I are talking. Action, action, action. I even say that this is not just a listening podcast, it's a doing podcast. I tell you to expect it to be hard, because when you expect it to be hard, and it is hard, it doesn't derail you because you're smart. You saw it coming. You expected this, so you pushed through it. And so here I am. I'm on the treadmill. It's literally the next morning after I've decided we're going to have this conversation and we're going to talk about Nisi's acceptance speech. And I'm listening to him as I'm walking. And it's as if the universe planted him right in my ears, because he picked up right where Nisi left off. Nisi was talking about believing in yourself, that you got to just spoon feed that stuff to yourself, that you got to thank yourself for doing the work. But it begs the question, how do you believe in yourself? Well, the answer's simple. You have to act as if you believe in yourself, even when you don't. What does that mean, Mel? It means you have to get out the door and start that walk before you feel motivated to get out the door and start that walk. It means you have to quit drinking before you actually feel like or want to. It means you have to apply for that job or apply to the school, even though you're not sure you're going to get accepted. The action comes before the belief. It's the action that creates it. And in the case of Nisi, on those days when she felt gutted, she didn't lay there on the floor for the next 10 years. She got back up. She pushed herself forward. She took action. And, the fact is, no one wants to hear this. Everybody wants the hack or the 3 this or the other thing or the blah, blah, blah. Give me the easy thing. No, I'm sorry. But some days it's not easy. In fact, most days it's not. And the reason why it's not going to be easy is because every single day, there will be at least one moment when you feel self-doubt or you feel friction. That stuff is always going to be there. You got to learn how to push through those temporary emotions. You got to learn how to pick yourself back up and slowly keep going and moving forward. That's how you spoon feed belief in yourself. Thinking will not create belief in yourself. So let's go back to David Goggins. Here I am on the treadmill, walking. And he's talking in this interview about the fact that every day is a battle. That's why whenever you see David Goggins on social media, he's usually doing one of those running videos. He drops about 15 F-bombs every 60 seconds. But here's what everybody gets wrong. He's not swearing at you. He's swearing at himself. And if you don't know his story, it's freaking incredible. You have to listen to his audiobook. David Goggins, before he was a Navy SEAL, check this out. The guy was 300 pounds. He was an exterminator in Indiana. He had suffered extreme childhood abuse and trauma. He's basically illiterate because of his learning disabilities. He's terrified of water, but deep down inside, as a 300-pound exterminator, terrified of water, you want to know what his dream was? He wanted to become a Navy SEAL. And the long and the short of it is, you got to listen to his audiobook. He did what seems impossible. He decided he was going to do it. And he not only lost the weight in the amount of time, which was a crazy amount of time for him to lose the weight, to make the weight requirement to even be allowed to get into the training. He passed the written test, and then he went through the BUDS Navy SEAL training. Not once, failed. Not twice, failed. But 3 freaking times until he passed. I mean, unfreaking believable story. It will motivate you unlike any other story will motivate you. And what you see on the outside, or when you listen to him, is you see this drive, and you're just like, oh my God, like this guy must have been born with motivation and discipline and the mindset and all this stuff. And he's like, no way. No freaking way. I battle for this every single day. And he said this thing in the interview. He was talking about how you cultivate self-belief and self-doubt. And this part of the interview comes up, and, you know, they kind of joke, and it's not really funny, but it's true. He said, you know, there's a cure for alcoholism. The problem is it only works one day at a time. The same thing is true for self-doubt. There is a cure for self-doubt, but it only works one day at a time. You have to battle self-doubt. The cure is your actions. You prove your self-doubt wrong every single day. And so I want to share with you one of my favorite moments from this interview.
There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. This has to be in you. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you.
If you're watching me on YouTube, you're watching me nod up and down. He's right. He is right. There has to be something in you. And so first of all, I want to say there is something in you. That's why you listen to this podcast. But you are the only person that can wake it up. And if you want to tap into something bigger inside of you, whether that's winning a primetime Emmy, or it's getting into that school, or it's healing whatever you need to heal, or it's making millions of dollars, you have to figure out how to wake up, how to push yourself every day. And you got to figure out how to keep going on those days when you feel gutted. Because the only reason why someone doesn't give up on those days when they wake up and they don't feel like it, and it's the 4th rejection in a row, is because somewhere deep down inside of you, You still believe. In fact, you know the truth. And the truth is that despite how hard this may be, despite how much this sucks right now, despite how slow, oh my God, it's so slow, the progress. Oh, you know that someday you're going to look up and this will all have been worth it. That it's worth it to just wake up every day and fight the battle. And Goggins just told you who the fight is with. It's you against you. I want to stop on this idea because I think it's really important to dig deep into this concept, you against you, and unpack what this means. Because when you first hear you against you, I bet you made the mistake I made, which is you think, oh, it's me against me in this moment, how I feel in this moment. That's not actually what I'm talking about. This goes so much deeper. And I've pulled this apart with my family because everybody in our family listened to this. And in particular, I had like a 2-hour conversation with our daughter, Kendall, which I'll get into in a moment. But here's what you against you means. There is a past version of you that you are going to have to battle for the rest of your friggin' life. And for Goggins, he is in a battle with the 300-pound lazy piece of shit, those are his words, not mine, that he used to be. That's who he's in a battle with every day. That's who he's swearing at when he's online on social media. And it's so important for you to realize there's a version of you in the past that is still in there inside of you in your day-to-day life. If you stop and take the time to really identify what past version of you is still chirping in your ear right now, bringing self-doubt, insecurity to the table. When you can identify that version of you, you now know who you're fighting. And I mentioned that I've been talking with my daughter Kendall about this. Here's the little bit of background. We've been talking about it because she's a singer-songwriter. She studied this in college. She has been working for months and months and months and months on her brand new single. Once you hear this, her new single, Pastime, it will be out. And so she listens to the Goggins interview, and we really start talking about this. You're battling against yourself. And nobody sees this because on the outside, from my standpoint, I can't understand why she feels so insecure about putting herself out there, right? Like she's got her song coming out. She knows what she needs to do. She's got to start promoting her brand new single, Pastime. She's got to start creating reels and TikTok things, and that's how people get discovered. And she's done all the work. Now it's the moment to thank herself and celebrate and start posting. She has been hesitant to do it. And you're the same way. Do you know how many of you write in and say, Mel, I'm a real estate agent. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a coach. I have this thing to market, and I'm scared to put myself online. I don't want to promote myself. I'm afraid of what my friends are going to think. You want to know why? Because an old version of you is keeping you feeling insecure and small. I want you to think about this for a minute. Think about the ways in which you're holding yourself back. You know what your goals are. You know what you want. And yet you feel insecure about doing the things you need to do it. In my daughter's case, she knows. I mean, the song's insanely amazing. And she's got something proud that she's proud of. You've got something that is insanely amazing.
I'm going to stop sharing right there. If my friend dropped the video in, you can go and watch Mel's podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on all the place where podcast is. But what I want you to hear, what she said, is that you're battling an old version of you. When you say me against me, what are you battling? It's the old version of you. It's Chris always say it's unlearning and relearning the things. It's the same thing with you. You've believed about a version of you for such a long time that now that you're trying to develop a different version of yourself, you're fighting against the version of you that was there before. You know, we've been told stuff as we grew up. We've been in an environment that shapes what we believe about ourselves. And that is what we're battling every day. What we've seen, we might see our parents do a certain thing. We might see stuff around us that we have adopted as ourselves. The way we grew up, what we saw. If we grew up in poverty, that's what we saw. So we believe that we're supposed to be poor. You know, that's the version of ourselves that we believe in because we saw people struggle. We believe we're supposed to struggle, so we can't believe beyond that. So today I want you to believe beyond that and switch the battle that you're having with yourself. Believe that you can make it. She did say something, no matter how long it takes, you will look back and say it was well worth it. It was well worth putting in the time. It was well worth developing myself. It was well worth it. Just like if you're on a weight loss journey, we'll use that as an example, and you're getting up to walk every day. You're not going to see it tomorrow. You're not going to see it in a week, but in 2 months, you might have lost 5 pounds. In 5 months, you might have lost 10 pounds. So you see the change. So when you're developing yourself, when you're building something, whether you're building a business, whether you're doing just anything you're doing in this season, you have to believe that you can change the old version of you. You can change that version by getting up every day. She said, get up and just do it. Don't think about it too much. You know, and I was listening to her earlier, and it wasn't about what I shared with you guys. She was saying, when you get up in the morning, I know a lot of you are coffee drinkers. She said, drink some water first. Don't think that you need your caffeine first. Delay the time you'll drink your coffee for an hour or so, and put something good in your body. It's the same thing with your mind. When you get up in the morning, what are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding yourself first thing when you get up? Are you grateful? Are you getting up out of bed and say, thank you, God, that I made it into today? What is it that you have me to do today to change not only me, but to change my environment, to change the people around me? You know, what are you doing to continue to develop yourself and continue to battle the me against me version? She's not the only one that talks about the me against me. You know, there's so many people that we listen to that talk about it's me, it's you versus you. But she broke it down in a way that I really like and understand when she's saying you're battling the old version of yourself. You're battling the old version. Take a minute this morning and think of the old version of you. Think about what you were like 2-3 years ago. I can stop and think that where I was prior to being in this environment, like I started the call, I talked about the environment and surrounding yourself with people. Before I was in this environment, I knew that I needed to do something great. I knew that I needed to be in a community, but I had no community. But I had to believe every day that I was going to find the set of people. I was going to find that community. And now I'm in that community. And now I'm able to share my journey or what I've gone through with you guys. So we have to develop and we have to continue to move. Time doesn't wait. Like I started the call, time doesn't wait on you. You have to get rid of the self-doubt. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you will reverse to that place where you said, I don't want to get up and do it. I don't want to make the call. I don't want to reach out to the person because you're fearful of them saying no. But the more rejection you get, the closer you get to your destiny. Rejection doesn't mean, failure doesn't mean that you're not doing good. It just means that you're moving forward. It shows you that, you know, everybody's not meant for where you're going. So everybody's not going to want to come on the journey with you. So we have to understand that everybody is not meant to go with us. We can't drag everybody along with us, but we have to continue to believe in ourselves. We're here on this call to believe in ourselves so we can move forward and we can encourage somebody else. If I didn't take the time years ago to get developed and to sit under Chris and to get into the environment, I wouldn't be able to get on this line and be confident enough in myself to share with you guys. So we have to continue to believe in ourselves. And even after you have gotten to a certain level, you still battle that demon because it doesn't leave. That self-doubt doesn't leave. Thank you. You're welcome. That self-doubt doesn't leave. The things that you battle with doesn't leave, but you have to continue to believe in yourself and continue to move forward. You have to have a no quit mentality. A no quit mentality. The storms are going to come. Life is going to come. Trust me. I've been in a season where I thought that, ooh, why am I sitting in this season? Why am I going through so much? Why have I battled so much? And guess what? I kept believing in myself. I kept believing that I can get out of the dirt and rise up. And guess what? I am up out of the dirt. So it's the same thing for you. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can get out of the bad times. It didn't come to break you, but it came to make you stronger. Everything that you're going through is a part of your journey. It's designed to push you into your place of purpose. And if any of you listen to me on social media, Chris have encouraged me. Like she was talking about people that have business and don't promote themselves, and they're scared to go on social media. She was mentioning her daughter. They're scared to go promote. That is where, when I surrounded myself with somebody like Chris or Sean, they push us. Now that Sean is on the screen, I can say that. You get pushed. Chris was the one who pushed me to do video in the middle of the pandemic, working in the hospital as a nurse and going through so much thing. It was so much stuff inside of me. And Chris said, as you drive home, make videos. As you drive home, share with people what was going on in the hospital. And that is how my exposure started on social media. I started sharing with people what I was seeing in COVID, what I was experiencing. Sometimes I was crying on those videos because I got off work and it was horrible. I've been in the nursing industry for over 20 years, never seen anything like it. So the videos wasn't only therapy for me, it was me getting my face and my likeness seen on social and known for somebody that was compassionate, because I was in a field, the nursing field, and I'm compassionate. I got people to see that side of me. And I would end all my videos said, I don't know where it came from. The Lord dropped it in my spirit. I would start ending my video with, this is the season that will push you into your wealthy place. Continue to walk with God. And I still end all my videos like that when I do them on social. And God, everything that you're going through is to push you into your wealthy season. And your wealthy season, I always explain this to people, it has nothing to do with money. Your wealthy season is your season of purpose. Your wealthy season, it doesn't have anything to do, that word that the Lord gave me, this is the season, this is what will push you into your wealthy season. It had, when the Lord gave it to me, he broke it down. He said it had nothing to do with money. Your wealthy season is about your development, about your growth, where you're going. So when you're in a season where you're struggling and you're having a tough time, it's to push you into your wealthy season, your season of purpose, your season of purpose, your season of where you're supposed to be. If you guys understand, I think I kind of made it choppy, but it might sound funny, but this is the season that will push you into this is the time that will push you into your wealthy season. So I'm going to end with, continue to walk with God, continue to believe in yourself, continue to know that everything that you're going through is so you can develop you and you can become a better version than the version that you knew before. We are here to develop and become better version of ourselves, better versions of who God has called us to be. And we can't give up along the journey. We can't give up. We can't give up. We can't give up. We have to keep pushing. On the days when you don't feel like it, I'm going to leave you with this. Get up anyway. On the days when you hurt, get up anyway. You will find out when you do it on the days when you feel like you can't do it, it's when the success will come. is when you will feel good. If you get up and do it, even when you don't feel like it, at the end of the day, you will feel accomplished. You will feel like you have pushed past the pain. So be encouraged today. Be encouraged to believe in yourself and get rid of self-doubt. Go and listen to the rest of the podcast. I don't know if she dropped it in the chat for you guys, the link. So copy that link before I close the meeting. And yeah, go ahead and listen to Mel. She has good stuff. I love Mel. She's one of my favorite people to listen to. I love y'all today. I love you all. Continue to walk with God in this season. Love you. Peace out.